Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking love after lockup, love during lockup, season 4, episode 27. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. You know, listen, I just can't. Ty and Hottie. Listen, these two are just complete, utter clowns. I was waiting at any moment. I said, I know a ringmaster is going to pop out and grab these two at any moment. Could we possibly get an elephant or some sort of circus animal to just come and drag them off? I mean, it was ridiculous. First of all, Ty calls Boston and she is all kinds of nasty and aggressive on this phone call, and Boston agrees to meet with her. There is no way in hell I would meet up with this woman, especially after Boston got her ass whooped last time. Well, really, it wasn't really much of a fight. It was a whole lot of patting, sort of, and jumping around. That's not how people fight for real. Anyway, Boston shows up, and as she's walking up, Ty says she looks like one of the Berenstain Bears, and I laughed a little, but girl, really, you don't have much room to talk. Are you serious? Boston is all excited because she thinks that she has won. Hottie is hers. I'm a winner here. Why do they think this man is a prize? I just don't even get it. Ty asked her, where's your ring? And she says that her ring is getting sized. And then Ty comes back and says, why? Because you have big man hands. And then she tells Boston, nice little hoe skirt. And Boston says back to her, nice fake teeth. And I mean, it was just a whole bunch of going back and forth, insulting each other. Ty wants to know who gave Boston her ring. And I mean, it was ridiculous. These two women going back and forth at each other about a man who is in prison, a man who has asked both of them to marry him. Ty has 37,000 inmates that she's dealing with, but yet her heart is broken over this one. What is wrong with these ladies? Boston, the whole time, she's sitting there trying to act as if she's not heartbroken by this, but she is. And at the same time, she doesn't really care, because at the end of all of this, she says no matter what, she won and she's going to marry Hottie. She doesn't care that he has other girlfriends, other fiancés. It doesn't matter. She's going to be with him. You both are grown women with zero self-esteem, zero self-worth, zero confidence, and zero common sense. Instead of arguing, fussing, and table flipping with each other, because Ty is going to try to get her Teresa moment and flip a table. She's out there acting ridiculous. I said, you know what? Haven't you got enough of embarrassing yourself? You keep on making these comments of how Hottie has embarrassed you. You are embarrassing you. Hottie didn't sign you up for this show. He didn't sign you up to reach out to 500,000 inmates. You decided to do this. Seriously, just close your eyes for a second, peeps. Imagine letting a man from prison make you act like a fool, or make you look like a fool. I'm serious. Imagine it. You can't, can you? Because you have common sense. She kept on telling Boston, I come in peace, but still trying to get aggressive with the woman. How are you being peaceful? You're rolling your eyes, you making hand gestures, you're calling her out of her name. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You don't seem peaceful at all. By the end of all this, she wants to hug. She wants to make up. She's so sorry. It's not you. He did this to me. He hurt me. He this, he that. Girl, you allowed that to happen to you. You allowed yourself to be treated that way. When you found out that he was messing with Boston last season, that's when you should have washed your hands of it and moved on about your business. At the end of all this, Hottie is going to get out of jail and marry some other woman. Both of these two idiots is just going to be sitting there on the sidelines looking stupid. Instead of both of them going after Hottie, cussing his ass out over the jail phone, they going to meet up with each other and act crazy. At least Boston was acting semi-reasonable. Jessica and Dustin. So Jessica and her daughter Bailey meet up with Dustin's mother and sister. So they end up going to this painting place, and his sister asked Jessica, who is grown, okay, what was the first thing that attracted you to my brother? And she says, well, he was just standing there kind of looking at me creepy. I said, oh, okay, really? What are you doing? What are you saying? And your daughter is right next to you. What kind of example is that? Yep, that turned me on. That attracted me. This weird prison inmate staring at me creepily. Girl, what the Sam hell is going on? Then she shows them that ginormous mural that she had tattooed across her stomach with this man's last name. Now listen, if I went and met some girl who said she was in love with my son and she shows me that huge belly tattoo, I would be concerned. There would be a whole lot of concern. No ma'am. No ma'am. You don't, no ma'am. Not my son. Listen, Bailey is yet again the smartest one in the room when it comes to her and her mama. And Bailey says, how many relationships has Dustin been in? And his sister looked at her and she said, relationships? I said, oh shit, here we go. His sister said, he has never been faithful to a woman in his life. Jessica says, well, do you think that he's blowing smoke up my ass? His sister said, yeah, pretty much. It's a possibility. I mean, it's jail talk. And I said to myself, Jessica, for a woman who has been working in the prison system for 13 years, it is hard for me to believe that you don't know the prison game, the jail talk. I don't believe it. Are you serious? His sister said that he has had many relationships, and when he gets out of jail from prison, the relationships usually last about a week. And his mom said, if that. Then his sister has to inform her that he is a drug addict, that he is hooked on the meth, and that he is always saying that he is going to get off, he's going to be sober. You know, this is crazy. You quit your job. Now you're talking about moving to a whole nother state with your daughter and allowing this man to move in with you. And you had absolutely no clue that he was addicted to meth. What do y'all talk about in all those letters besides the fact that he wants to give you his last name and, oh, I got this tattoo? What else do you talk about? Because you clearly do not know this man. He is a drug addict. I really appreciate the fact that his family was 100 with her. They said that this is a problem and it continues to happen all the time. You know, Bailey says that she is really scared for her mom because her mom has uprooted her entire life for this guy. And if this relationship doesn't work out, her mom is going to walk away with nothing. Then Jessica on the way home says, well, I didn't realize he had a drug problem. You are 44 years old. This man is 27 and you have a 17-year-old daughter. You don't have time for bullshit like this. You don't have time for I didn't realize. Now, I'm not saying that people cannot be drug addicts and then get clean and live healthy, sober lives, because they can. And everybody deserves a second chance. That is true. But you are not getting a second chance with me and my child. Jessica, if you don't grow the hell up, you are really just doing a disservice to your daughter. You are not showing or leading by a good example. Not at all. Chelsea and Mikey. Now, honey, listen. I posted a video to my community tab about Chelsea the other day. It turns out that Chelsea has other children, and she lost custody of those children to their fathers. So there's a backstory regarding Chelsea. So if you haven't seen that video, head on over to my community tab and check that out after you finish watching this video. I'm just saying. So Chelsea is in the car. She's on her way to drive to Kentucky to meet Pamela. And I said, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell that I'm going to ask my child to catch the bus to go over his friend's house so I can drive to Kentucky to meet this lion-ass jailbird parent. Nuh-uh, I'm not doing that. So she ends up driving there anyway, goes to Kentucky, meets Mikey's mama, Pamela, and his grandma. Pamela says Mikey had a big stroke and a mini stroke, and he ended up in the big hospital for 8 days. And they wouldn't tell us what hospital it was because, you know, they thought that somebody might break him out. I said, that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think that the sweet mama and grandma are all a part of this facade. It's a scheme. This is ridiculous. His mom says that he's up walking and talking, and then all of a sudden he calls right then. He says that his second stroke could have been prevented if only the guard had gotten him some medical attention. The guard told him he just needed to hydrate and get some rest. So now they're talking about contacting an attorney to see if they could sue for him not being rushed to medical attention. Honey, now listen, this woman was giving Chelsea all these compliments. Chelsea was feeling so loved and so secure. And Chelsea, listen, get on back in your car, honey, and go on home. There is no need to waste a lawyer's time. It really isn't. This mama and grandma is a part of the plot. You are being used and you are being tricked. These people do not mean you any good. Just because they have 1,000 wind chimes out on their porch does not mean they're good people. I'm just saying, girl, get in your car and go on home. She talking about she is going to get a tattoo of Mikey's signature. Girl, if you don't cut the shit, you have 87,000 tattoos already. There's no room for any more. And you definitely don't need a tattoo of this dude's signature. Move the hell on, get in that car and carry your butt back to Ohio. You know, one thing I did want to say, though, Chelsea, you kept saying over and over again how you've got these bad trust issues. And my thought is, if you got trust issues, felons is not the ones to date. I'm just saying. Melissa and Louie. And Melissa's still down in Georgia. She decides that she is some sort of investigator. And she is going to go visit Louie's ex-boss / friend, some guy named Dirk, who owns a pizza shop that Louie used to work at. And while he was at work, not only was he drunk, he was also doing the old oxy in the bathroom. The man said that even though they loved Louie, he couldn't have him working like that. You can't be baking pizzas and working through the heat and hot ovens and everything, all my pizza sauce all over the place because you drunk and on the oxy. You know, and she seemed to not know that Louie had a drug addiction problem. Now, she's already got an attitude because Louie's mama, Donna, had already told her that Louie is not allowed to move to New Jersey because she said he has to live with her for the next 2 years. Well, when she gets to Dirk's, Dirk tells her, hey, he said that he was going to be working here. Listen, Melissa, everybody knows what Louie's doing but you. Okay, what he's not doing is moving back to New Jersey to live out your high school fantasies. His friend lets her know that he has a serious problem with being able to keep his sobriety and that if he hadn't gone to jail, he would have probably ended up dead. His friend knew about the yoga. He said he's doing a lot of things trying to stay healthy, trying to stay sober, and yoga is one of the things that he likes to do. And again, of course, you know, she got a little upset about that because she had no idea. So his friend also tells her that Louie really enjoys the women and doesn't have a problem getting any women. And since he's been in jail for 10 years, he's pretty sure that Louie is going to do Louie. You know what I mean? And she needs to know that. If you mess with any man who's been in prison for a good long time, my guess would be that he would be mingling, if you know what I mean. So she gets on the phone with Louie, and let me tell you something. Louie absolutely totally disrespected her. And there is no way that I would continue to talk to Louie after the way he spoke to that woman on that phone. Even though I think she is a complete nut job, Louie was doing way too damn much. You're not talking to me this way. So she tells Louie that she found out that he said that he was going to be working at this pizza place. And Louie pretty much tells her, yes, that's correct. When I get out of jail, I'm going to be on probation and I cannot leave the state. So I will be working at the pizza place. Then, honey, listen, she brought up the fact that Louie was taking yoga and she wanted to know who this woman was.
Papa! Who this woman?
Honey, as soon as she said that, he popped off and told her she's a yoga instructor who came to the prison. And if you want to say anything else about that or talk about that, this conversation is over. I said, wait a minute now. Why are you so aggressive about this woman? Why don't you want to talk about her? This is crazy to me. He said, are you telling me the truth? He said, I'm getting really irritated with you, so this conversation is over. She said, well, do you want me to come and see you tomorrow? He said, if you don't want to, then don't. Honey, now listen, that sounds like somebody who is truly not that invested in you. Girl, you should just go on home. Turn your car around and head to the airport, dummy. Instead of her just going on home and minding her business, blocking Louie on all of this, she decides that she's going to show up at this woman's yoga studio and take this woman's class. The whole time this woman is trying to teach her class, she is so busy concentrating on this woman. She is so jealous and absolutely envious. I said, girl, if you could just pick your self-esteem up off the floor. Get your self-esteem off your yoga mat. You are doing too much. And the fact that she signed up for this woman's class, listen, did you bring a yoga mat in your luggage? Or did you swing by the local Walmart to pick out this matching outfit and this yoga mat? Because, you know, I don't carry a yoga mat everywhere I go. I'm just saying, that was weird to me. And you can tell that Rutu was absolutely shocked when she said, I'm Louie's girlfriend. She said, Louie from Metro? I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't think that woman is doing anything inappropriate with Louie. I mean, she looked like an absolute psycho confronting this yoga instructor about some dude that you were in love with back in high school. You know what, Melissa, every episode I just get more and more embarrassed for you. I mean, you're showing your low self-esteem, your insecurities, you're immature, your desperation is on 1,000. It's too much. Please go home and get some help. And you know what? He was really pissed off when she brought up the yoga instructor. What is he gonna do when he finds out that she actually went to this woman's class? Justine and Michael. I seen the previews for the new season of Love After Lockup, and Michael was out of jail. He was there. And I said, so those blogs that I seen were absolutely wrong. They said that he wasn't getting out of jail and that he never got out. That's not true. That dude is out of jail. And I also saw that Gabby and Chris from last season of Love During Lockup. I really did not like that couple. But they're going to be on this new season of Love After Lockup. The previews make it look like it's going to be a really good season, but it could just be the previews. You know how the previews usually shows the best moments and then the rest of the season is a dud? I don't know, but I'm going to watch and we're going to find out. So Justine's cousin is in town and, you know, she's inquisitive. You know, inquiring minds want to know. You know, she wants to know what the hell is going on. Well, we find out first that Justine and Michael are gross and disgusting. I mean, if you could have seen my face when she said, look at his toenail that she's got hanging on the wall. And that sometimes he sends her blood, blisters, a glove filled with his semen. I mean, nasty, damn it. What the shit? You know what? I don't even know how you can get that stuff out of there. You know what I mean? They go through the mail. How do you get a glove full of semen? And why would you send her the semen in the mail? What was she going to do with it? I mean, it's not like she was going to try to get pregnant with it because, well, first, y'all got 7 kids together. We don't need an 8th. And then second of all, by the time you got it to her, I mean, was it frozen? Because it wouldn't be any good if it came through regular U.S. mail. You know, I don't know. I think that was disgusting. They are real creepy, nasty, and non-hygienic. I mean, ooh. Cousin says that she's 50-50 about this marriage because something is weird. How is he getting this money to buy her all these nice things, including that car? You know, she asked him where he gets his money from. And I said, ma'am, do you really think on national TV he's about to tell you about this money? No, ma'am. He gives her the old, he plays the lottery a lot. I said, if the lottery is illegal activities, pharmaceutical activities, come on now. Justine says he doesn't like it when people question him about his money. And you can tell, because when he got off the phone, she said, I love you. He said, I'll call you tomorrow. Goodbye. Then she had the nerve to try to say that she believes he gets all his money from the music industry. Really? We don't know him. We don't know him. No, ma'am. Her cousin says, well, don't you feel weird riding around in that car with your kids and you don't even know if that's a hot car, if it's an illegal car? And that's true. True facts. I would feel very uncomfortable with my children in that car. I would feel very uncomfortable with my ass in the car. No, ma'am. The cousin says, well, why don't we have the car checked out? She don't want to do that. And I think because she is not stupid, I think that girl is very much aware of what money is being used to purchase this car and all these other gifts. She knows that it's illegal funds. And you know what, girl? What you don't want is the FBI knocking on your door. Okay? I'm just saying. I think that Justine really does need to get a little bit of an eye-opener. This dude is clearly a dope boy. And this money is clearly dirty. And not only that, you're going to be bringing this dude into your home with your children. It's not okay. Okay, so then we move on to that creepy dude again. Mark and Censor A. You know what? This dude is a waste of time. He's a waste of time. Something is real disturbing and nasty about this dude. He brings up his idea to start a boarding house for single women inmates with children. I said, nuh-uh. This sounds like some old cult activity. This man is trying to get a harem together of women that he can abuse. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. He's nasty. He gets on the phone with this girl, says his girlfriend from prison, and then connects this girl on the phone on a three-way call with Censore to talk about this getting her pregnant so she can get out of jail quicker scheme. Both of the girls at the same time say, why would we get pregnant in jail? Buddy, are you out your damn mind? First of all, they're not going to get out of jail early. Second of all, everybody is going to be in trouble because the prison is going to need to know who the hell got you pregnant. How did this happen? They will end up with more jail time. And then on top of that, you're going to go to jail because you best believe they are going to figure out that it was you, you big dummy. Then on top of all of that, when the baby is born, they're just going to take the baby to children's services. You are a big, nasty buzzard. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. He is gross, and I think he is a predator. I think he is preying on women from prison. Just disgusting. We TV people, don't bring him back. Don't bring him back. Something is odd about him, and I need you to check him out. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.